Hi, my name is Jon Dalton, and today I'm going to be talking about a substitution you can use in the 2-5-1 chord sequence. It's a substitution built around the 5 chord. Let's first of all establish what our 2-5-1 is. We're in the key of C major, so we're going to be using something like a D minor 7 for the 2 chord, G7 for the 5 chord, and we're going to be using, in this instance, say a C major for the 1 chord. The substitution is going to be built on the 5 chord. As I said, we were talking G7, but I'm going to make a 1 level substitution by bringing the G7 into a G7 with a flat 9. I always think that the flat 9 has a kind of romantic, kind of a gypsy kind of feel to it, but that's just my interpretation. Everybody sees and hears chords differently. What I'm going to do is I'm going to make this into a more full voicing of the G7 flat 9 by adding the 5th on top for a chord which is made up of 1, 3, 7, flat 9 and 5. Now the part of the chord that I want you to pay particular attention to is the upper partial, these 4 notes, and these are the 4 notes that go up to coincidentally make a diminished chord. Incidentally, these ideas are not just specific to the guitar. Obviously I can demonstrate them on the guitar, but as long as you can hear them, you should be able to pretty much get something from this on any melodic instrument. Now what I'm going to do, if you know anything about diminished, you'll know that they cycle every minor third, so I'm going to cycle down a minor third, and I'm going to take that 1 step further and cycle down 1 more minor third. And the reason I wanted to land here was because here's a very graphic example of G7 flat 9 once again, because we've got the 7, and then we've got the 3, and then we've got the 5, and then we've got the flat 9 on the top. I'm just going to put the G on the bass just to kind of prove that it is a G7 flat 9. Now if I change the bass note to an A flat, I'll have an A flat diminished chord. So you can see there's a very strong commonality between the G7 flat 9 and the A flat diminished chord. So the question is, can we use tonalities that are built on an A flat diminished to substitute for a G7 with a flat 9? And the answer to that question is a resounding yes. So let's look at some examples. Again, 2-5-1, so we're going to start on an arpeggio built on a D minor tonality. So there we are, there's one example of using lines derived from A flat diminished. Here's another example. Example where I'm actually going to, rather than descend down the fretboard, I'm going to ascend up the fretboard. So let's try this. So there we go, there's an ascending run. Let's try another form of ascending run with a kind of a long form, linear, diminished scale. There's another example of a kind of a diminished tonality. You can use a diminished tonality in more of a kind of a box in the fretboard, if you like, so something like this. And just another example of that kind of thing, but we're going to move the box from here up to here. diminished tonality for 7-flat 9 chord. These are just ideas, just as examples as ever, to try and get you thinking about ways that you can take this ball and run with it to bring these new features into your own playing and into your own improvisation. So have fun, and I'll see you next time.